What's up, Freeway Gang? It's your boy Freeway back again with another video. Please start talking about that deadly shooting that happened, and I forgot where it was. I'm gonna put that video that I screen recorded earlier from CNN. I mean, one of them news channels next. But yes, apparently some black man was going to he was on, I don't know where he was going, but he was at a stoplight. The police pulled him over for air fresheners hanging from his rearview mirror. I don't know what state he lives in or why they even pulled him over for that, because I got stuff hanging from my rearview mirror. If the police pulled me over for that, I'd cuss him out. But okay, so he called his mom because he was scared of the police, which he's already scared of the police. So he called his mama, and one of the officers made him hang up the phone. And then moments later, when the mom tried to keep calling the phone the third time,
Now exclusively by Daunte's mother and father, Katie and Aubrey Wright, along with their attorneys Ben Crump and Jeff Storms. Good morning to you all, and Mr. and Mrs. Wright. My family and I join many others in sending our condolences, and we hope that you're getting the support you need to help you during this difficult time, and we appreciate you spending some time with us this morning to talk about your son. Mrs. Wright, you said that your son Daunte called you after he had been pulled over by the police. Can you please share with us what you all said to each other?
He called me and he said, Mom, I've just been pulled over. I said, for what? They said they pulled me over because I had air fresheners hanging in the rearview mirror. I said, okay, we'll take them down. And then he said, well, they're also asking for insurance. And I said, well, when the police officer comes back up to the window, give him the phone and I can explain and give him all the insurance information. He said, okay. And then the police officers came back up to the window and asked Daunte to step out of the car. And Daunte said, for what? Am I in trouble?
I was editing. But y'all, you see right there, when he asked the police, when they told him get out the car, they should have told him why they was telling him to get out the car. Because if he didn't do nothing, y'all shouldn't have told him to get out the car. Y'all should just ask for his license and registration like y'all already did, which they didn't even ask for that. They asked for insurance. That's not what you asked for.
And the officer said, we're going to explain that when you step out of the car. And they asked him to put the phone down. And I heard the phone getting put down pretty hard, whether it was on the floor. I don't know where he put the phone down. And then I heard scuffling and the girl that was with him screaming. And I heard an officer ask for them to hang up the phone. And then I didn't hear anything else. I tried to call back three, 4 times, and then the girl that was with him answered the phone, and she said that they shot him, and he was laying in the driver's seat, unresponsive.
And that's another thing. How did he just wind up shot out of nowhere? Like, from one minute he was on the phone with his mama,
Y'all told him hang up and get out the car. From what happened from y'all telling him get out the car to y'all having to shoot this boy? From y'all pulling him over for air fresheners hanging from his window. That's not even nothing for you to even pull a taser out, let alone a gun.
And then I heard an officer ask her to hang up the phone again. And then after that, this is the last time I seen my son. I haven't seen him since.
I'm so sorry. Just the anguish. And Mrs. Wright, you were on the phone for so long with your son, and it seemed at first that the things were under control.
My point exactly.
Do you have any idea how it escalated the way that it did? Why it escalated the way that it did?
I don't know. I know my son was scared. He's afraid of the police. And I just seen and heard the fear in his voice, but I don't know why. And it should have never, ever escalated the way it did.
No, ma'am. And Mr. Wright, how did you get word, and what did police initially tell you?
And y'all, this is a trigger warning for some of y'all, because this triggered the fuck out of me.
About the shooting, sir?
Well, I got word from my wife. She called me, and she was screaming and telling me what was going on, and I was, it was a normal day for us. We started off as a normal day. I haven't talked much to the police at all.
They haven't given us any information.
They haven't pretty much given us any information at all.
We do know that the police chief, he said that he believes that the shooting, that the officer meant to shoot the taser, not her gun, and that it was an accidental shooting. Do you accept that explanation, Mr. Wright?
I could tell what was going through bro here. Y'all see how his face scratched up? That's not funny, but my reaction would have been the exact same.
I cannot accept that. I lost my son. He's never coming back. I can't accept that. A mistake that doesn't even sound right. This is an officer that's been on the force for 26 years. I can't accept that.
And Mrs. Wright, we know that the mayor has called for this officer to be fired, to be relieved of her duties. What would you like to see happen?
And as far as her losing her job, that's something that should come along with her going to jail. Because first off, people on the street, they could shoot somebody and not even kill them and go to jail. This bitch, just because she's an officer, she didn't even get arrested. She just got fired. What? She can get another job in another town. She need to be in jail somewhere is what she need.
I would like to see justice served and her held accountable for everything that she's taken from us.
And we do know that people are outraged, as in the reports, and we're seeing how people are upset. Many people are upset that, again, another black man has lost his life at the hands of police. But you all have been consistent in calling for peace and calm. So, Mrs. Wright, what do you want to say to those who want to take to the streets on behalf of your son?
I want to say thank you so much for the support and standing by us and making sure that my son's name has been heard, and asking for justice and asking for that we get everything that we need out of this, and making sure that my son's name doesn't get swept under the rug and forgot about.
And are you still calling for peace? Are you still hoping that they can do this, a protest in a peaceful manner?
Yes.
Mr. Crump,
and before I show y'all that video, mind y'all that this occurrence took place literally not far from where the George Floyd case is happening and where that actually happened at. And this is in the same city. And there was actually a live press conference about that today. I really want to go watch that. Matter of fact, I'm finna go watch that.
We're going to begin with protests that erupted in Minnesota last night over a man's death after a traffic stop just 10 miles from the site of the Derek Chauvin trial. Police used tear gas and flashbangs in some places to disperse the crowd. The family of DAUNTE WRIGHT say police shot and killed him yesterday afternoon, and police are saying that they learned of an outstanding warrant against Wright after they pulled him over.
So he had a warrant. We know this much. He got pulled over. Y'all told him to get out the car. So that's the part where they was telling him to get out the car because they seen him have a warrant after they pulled him over. Still, there was no reason for this man to be shot.
Lucas is at the Brooklyn Center, Minnesota Police Department, where the crowds gathered last night. Jamie, good morning to you. What's it like there this morning?
Well, Tony, I want to show you what my crew found as they were setting up. This is a non-lethal marker round, and you can see this big piece of non-lethal ammunition is shot at crowds to quickly get them to disperse. And while there aren't any people still here, police are still on high alert after officers clashed with protesters here outside the station. The National Guard is still here this morning as well to help control any threats. The mayor also issued a curfew order early this morning. This adds to the already high tensions in the Minneapolis area as Derek Chauvin's murder trial continues today.
And y'all don't feel like that's a coincidence that the mayor, like, since this happened, that the mayor put out a curfew now? Like, they working hand in hand, and you can't tell me that they not.
Marching through the city, protesters met a line of officers at the Brooklyn Center Police Department who used flashbangs and tear gas to try to break up the group.
We saw rocks and other objects thrown at the police department. There were reports of shots fired in the area of the police department.
Earlier in the day, dozens gathered in the same spot where family says Daunte Wright was killed by police.
What do we want?
Am I tripping, or is them police officers holding back?
His mother, Katie Wright, says Daunte called her right before the incident.
That he was getting pulled over by the police, and I said, well, why did you get pulled over? He said they pulled him over because he had air fresheners hanging from the rearview mirror. He didn't deserve to be shot and killed like this.
The 20-year-old allegedly drove away when police say officers tried to arrest him on an outstanding warrant. One officer fired a shot at the car and hit Wright, who allegedly continued driving several blocks before hitting another car. Wright died at the scene, and no one else was seriously injured. Police are investigating and say dash and body cameras appear to have been activated at the time. The shooting took place just 15 miles from where George Floyd was killed by Minneapolis police last May. As the murder trial of Derek Chauvin continues today, residents say this adds to the hurt.
And I am gonna call a spade a spade. He was wrong for running, but who the fuck ain't gonna run if they got a warrant? The police just told them get out the car. You feel me? I feel you, cuz I would have ran too. But in those type of situations, that does not give the police the right to shoot us. They then create a barricade with other cars. Like, the police are trained. They know what they're supposed to do. They knew what they were supposed to do in that situation. They knew what they wanted.
Grief. I mean, trauma. We're already in a trial with George Floyd. We're at a breaking point as a people.
All right, I'm done with my hair. Hold on, where my do-rag at? I don't know where to say, but let me go put this oil on my head. But y'all, we just need to sing that one song. It's a church song. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. It won't work, no weapon. That's what we need to sing. We need to start one of these riots and start singing gospel and give it to God. Because I promise y'all, us black people are the Israelites. And if y'all don't believe it, open your Bible and read it and he'll tell you. Our God is not a God of confusion. He's a God of clarity. He's a God of peace, and he's a God of grace. He doesn't discriminate. His love is for everybody who accepts him. But there are a chosen people, and y'all have to understand that. Because who was it that, the ones who are always under oppression are God's people. Just think about that, the minority. But we're not the minority, we're the majority. Oh, weapon formed against me shall prosper. It won't work.
Violent protests and demands for justice continued for a second night in a row. It followed a stunning admission yesterday about the fatal shooting of the 20-year-old black man at the center of the rising tensions. The Brooklyn Center police chief says that the officer who pulled the trigger on Daunte Wright had meant to use her taser instead. Meantime, the medical examiner has ruled his death a homicide. Protesters did clash again with police, but there were also peaceful demonstrations earlier in the night. So Laura Podesta is following all of this for us. Laura, local professional sports teams also pay tribute to Wright.
That's right, Anne-Marie. Minnesota's pro basketball, baseball, and hockey teams all had scheduled home games yesterday, but they were postponed. The team said it just wouldn't be right to play amid all the tension and unrest.
Protesters and police faced off for a second night in Brooklyn Center, Minnesota last night.
Are y'all gonna kill me too?
Tear gas was fired as people stayed out past a 7 p.m. curfew, calling for justice after the death of Daunte Wright. The 20-year-old was killed during a traffic stop on Sunday. Body camera footage shows officers attempting to handcuff Wright when he got back in his car.
It is my belief that the officer had the intention to deploy their taser, but instead shot Mr. Wright with a single bullet.
Officer Kim Potter, a 26-year veteran of the force, fired the fatal shot. She's been placed on leave pending an investigation.
My heart is literally broken into 1,000 pieces.
Katie Wright is Daunte's mother.
He was my life. He was my son. And I can never get that back because of a mistake.
China Whitaker is the mother of Wright's 1.5-year-old son, Daunte Jr.
That's not fair that his son can't have his dad in his life.
Wright's death comes less than 11 months after George Floyd's, which sparked days of violent protests in the Minneapolis area.
Second time we had windows broken.
Cortland Steele's business was one of several vandalized during protests Sunday night.
I really do believe the community's hurting or whatever. I mean, some changes need to happen.
Wright's mother urged protesters to remain peaceful.
The White House is also calling for peace and calm, saying that there is no justification for looting and violence. Anne-Marie.
So the thing about this, Laura, is that the traffic stop where Wright was shot is just really a few miles away from where the Derek Chauvin trial is underway. I'm wondering if the protests have had any impact on the case.
It absolutely has. We know that defense attorneys asked the judge yesterday to sequester the jurors, saying that these ongoing protests might influence their opinions, but the judge denied that request. Also, we should mention, Anne-Marie, that the families of Daunte Wright and George Floyd will be holding a joint press conference today.
And how has Brooklyn Center's mayor been reacting to Wright's death and the protests?
Well, the mayor has come out and said he thinks that the officer, Kim Potter, should be fired. There was also a vote yesterday to fire the city manager, so now the mayor has authority over the police department in Brooklyn Center.
Wow. Laura, thank you very much.
Good morning. I slept on it. Still pissed off about it, but I'm gonna get in the shower. Out the shower, 15 minutes with this mud mask on. I ain't did that little my smile thing in a minute. I'm finna do it. I look so funny with this mask on. Cause I can have both of these in while I'm going to look for my clothes. Am I the only one who, like, when I get out of the shower, my ears be itching and my nose, because I got hair in there, and when it dries, it be irritated. And then I leave this on for 20 minutes. Well, that blue light will cut off. Okay.
Oh, it is a peel off. I thought it was a wash. The pieces where that hair is gonna get washed off. I'm so dumb. Why did I do this and I got hair on my face? Because all of that right there is hair. Ouch. You can see where it's pulling my freaking, hold on. Well, no, you can't, but it's hurting. Never again. Well, I do this without shaking. Just break this stuff. Huh? Ooh. Y'all hear my stomach growl? That's a lot. And this is the micellar cleansing water. And this should get the remainder of that off. I'm done with you. Okay. It's a clear skin wash. Yo, I just freaked out a while ago. My stuff just dropped in that water. Huh? Oh, I definitely buy me another one of these because my other one don't work no more. Huh? A little spin, a spin brush. Huh? In the beauty store? Sephora? Like where girls get makeup. That's why I get that's why I got my Hello Naked paste at. My toothpaste and mouthwash. They got it at Ulta too, down here.
You talking about that place over there by the strip mall?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Got my glycolic serum. And here's my jade roller. And my jade roller. Which you supposed to put these in the freezer, but I don't like how cold they be. I don't like that.
And this is getting smaller and smaller every day, y'all. I'm just glad I got my face back. Now, this is something new I'm trying. Instead of using my witch hazel, I'm gonna start using this multi-active toner and see what it do, you know, because I'm just experimenting. Okay, where is it at? Come on. I'll tell you this, that stuff tastes nasty. Got in my mouth. Okay, make it shine. Too much toner. It smell good too. And lastly, I'm gonna go in with my shea butter. Ooh, it's cold. Yep, everybody need to just go to church, turn to God, because this is the tale of the two cities all over again, y'all. Sodom and Gomorrah. The whole new world order thing, the mark of the beast. I feel like the mark of the beast is that the coronavirus shot, y'all. No cap. I'm not taking that just because I know my God is a healer. It's crazy. Antichrist comes as a prince of peace. I don't know. Maybe I be overthinking it. I am a Virgo. But don't underthink it either. Okay? Because, what is it? I don't know, y'all. I'm just talking at this point. But I really ain't. I feel like God talking. Because I ain't been to church in I don't know how long. Well, I ain't been to church in 2 weeks. I went to church on the first. Well, the first Sunday of the month type stuff. While my auntie was there, I went to church with my auntie and my son. Because I can't sing, y'all. But there's a lot of mucus in my throat for some reason. I don't know why. These braids gonna feel so good, y'all. My head gonna look good. I love my do-rag. I love do-rags, period. I don't like having my hair out, you know? Keep your crown covered. We need to do something about this and quick. I ain't gonna lie, I want to protest in my city. Well, it didn't happen here, but I just feel, I don't know why I feel some type of way. It like ever since that popped up on my computer this morning, I have not been asleep. And I've been thinking about a video to make over this all day, but I really don't have one. Y'all, my niece bought these chips, right? I don't think she knew that it's a what you call in it.